Failing is an Olympic sport when it comes to flat earthers. I think it's got to the point now where each flat earther wants to fail harder than the flat earther that comes before them. It matters not, because they all make it onto the Flat Earth Fail Compilation, and this is episode 23. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a quick thank you to the sponsors of today's video, Surfshark VPN. Surfshark is a VPN service that makes online privacy protection easy and attainable, encrypting all internet traffic sent to and from your devices and ensuring that your IP address remains hidden to make sure no one can see what you do online. On top of that, they block ads, trackers, malware and phishing attempts, and unlike other VPN services, you can use it on as many devices as you like simultaneously. With my job, I spend a vast amount of time online, most of the day in fact. The internet knows a lot about me, and this is why we should care about our online data. Use Surfshark to encrypt your personal information and send it via a secure VPN tunnel so that no one can see it without your permission, which is great for protecting things like your ID. ID theft is an increasingly common and scary crime. Surfshark though has its HackLock system, which gives you alerts anytime your email address or password is compromised. It scans various databases of leaked information and notifies its users if the data is found so that you can take action. Click on the link in the description or go to surfshark.deal/SimonDan to get a whopping 83% off plus 3 months extra free. Right, back to this week's failures, and we start with the main man of Westchester County himself, Mr. CC, who wants to tell us something about Mars.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County.
I wonder if he did a wife check before filming this one.
When I grew up, the solar system was stationary.
Alright, honey, come on.
The sun was standing.
Why don't you stop this bullshit?
Idiot. And how's everybody doing in Westchester County? Everybody good? Yeah, here in New York. You know, I mean, we're just coming out of a major winter storm. And Texas, apparently, is coming back to...
You alright, Chris?
My last video that I posted, and I thank the publisher of that video. See, the problem is, in Flat Earth, we have a big problem.
Yeah, I'd say the Earth's not flat. Bit of a massive problem there.
I mean, not only getting the satellite, you know, to the planet itself, which is just absolutely, computations are impossible to figure that out, because you don't know how high you are and low you are and whatever it may be, it doesn't make a difference. It's impossible. But when you try to figure out the atmospheric conditions on a planet that doesn't exist, and then you're projecting a helicopter on top of it that's pushing up air that you have no idea what the atmospheric conditions are.
Well, we do, because of the rovers we've already got up there. The constituents of the Martian atmosphere are as follows: 95% carbon dioxide, 3% nitrogen, 1.6% argon, and then trace amounts of other gases such as oxygen, water vapour, methane, and carbon monoxide. Of course, the Martian atmosphere is nowhere near as dense as the atmosphere we have here on Earth. It has a volume of around 1% that of Earth's. But make no mistake, Mars has an atmosphere.
And how would we? Don't you see how it's impossible? Don't you see that everything you're looking at up there is just an amazing light show. And that's all it is.
If that's what you believe, then fine. But we have huge amounts of evidence to suggest otherwise.
They're going to lie to you is beyond belief. They're going to lie to you. And they need to. They need to lie to you.
Do they though? Really? I mean, NASA gets the money whether the general public believes in what they're doing or not.
They couldn't figure how else to explain it to people. Back in 1958, they figured it out. Then how do I know this?
That's a good question. Please enlighten us.
I don't know. How do I know this? I know that everything is a lie. That's how I know it.
Right. Makes perfect sense.
Everything is a lie.
I'm starting to worry a bit about CC here. He's becoming extremely paranoid.
And when you see this, you'll understand. Alright, that's it. I'm done. Alright, I thank you for subbing. I thank you for viewing my videos and being a part of my life.
And we thank you for providing us with a nice flat earth fail. But seriously, if you need to talk CC, I'm here. Right, moving on, and next up is the Professor of Flat Earth, Mr. Khan Adams. He is going to walk us through his upcoming Flat Earth biology syllabus. Take it away, Kyle.
Welcome to Flat Earth Biology. As we know, biology is the study of life, or more specifically, it is the science of life, or living matter in all of its forms and phenomena, especially with reference to origin, growth, reproduction, structure, and behavior.
How in the fudge can the Earth being flat dictate any of that?
Alright, so what is flat earth biology?
Whoa, he's got a voiceover lady. I want a voiceover lady too.
Will Dan get his own voiceover lady, or will he just get his wife to do it?
Flat Earth Biology is biology that is brought to you by the Flat Earth Institute of Science.
The what? The Flat Earth Institute of Science? What do you do there then? See how many Skittles you can put up your nose?
That means it is held to the standard of making claims based on observation and experimentation. Please also keep in mind, this is a school where it is okay for us to talk about more than one subject. And for the really picky people out there, please keep in mind, Earth science consists of multiple topics, such as geology, oceanography, meteorology, astronomy, and ecology. And biology fits hand in hand with ecology. Ecology is the branch of biology dealing with the relations and interactions between organisms and their environment, including other organisms.
But what has this got to do with the Earth being flat?
That sounds great. So what are your plans for the course?
Well, that really depends on what the community wants to learn about. On our YouTube homepage, we have a community tab where we're going to hold polls to find out what areas the community wants to focus on. After the community selects a topic, it'll be time for observation and experimentation. As you can see, right now, most of our participants are showing an interest in gardening.
So Kyle's poll has gardening as the clear winner here. Oh, I can't wait to find out about flat earth gardening.
What would flat earth gardening involve?
Good question, voiceover lady. I'd imagine it's like normal gardening, but on a flat earth.
Which is an excellent topic for the month of April. So unless something suddenly changes, that is what our first lesson is going to be about.
I don't think I want to learn about flat earth gardening. I'm going to vote cats. Here's the poll. Wouldn't it be great if cats won this poll? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
But isn't that cheating?
Voiceover lady, you're supposed to be on my side.
I'm still kind of nervous about the way you said experimentation. What do you plan on doing if the community selects the topic of dogs?
Good point. Well, I have a cat. He's called Zeus. We can do some safe experiments with him.
Well, last time I checked, our local animal shelter is a kill shelter that kills 7 to 10 perfectly adoptable cats and dogs every week. So we're going to go and experiment on them.
Really? Really?
A saying that we have here in the Institute is, a problem that is out of sight and out of mind does not get fixed. So our aim is to shed some light on that problem and see if we can't do something to help get it fixed.
Now, whilst I don't agree with Kyle about the shape of the Earth, I can get behind a cause like this. I am an animal lover, so if I can help with that, he needs to let me know ASAP.
What kind of experiments do you plan on doing on them?
We are going to find out if dogs like the taste of chicken or turkey more. Our hope is that by conducting some safe and silly experiments on the animals over there, we'll be able to give them some better publicity, which will provide them with a better chance of getting adopted. I can also hope that it will inspire people everywhere to investigate their local animal shelters and see what they can do to help.
I'm pretty sure in the UK you can't do that, but a nice cause all the same. Not really sure what it's got to do with Flat Earth though. I think we'll leave Kyle here with his Flat Earth biology. And remember, vote cats. Okay, let's continue with a channel that we've not looked at for ages. The Space Busters. They want to talk about chemtrails and curvature. Should be interesting.
The other day, I had the misfortune to click on a Sci-Fi Dan video.
Nice.
He was reminiscing about his interaction with Flat Earth channels and wondering what happened to them.
His views seem to be going nowhere fast. Excellent news. But he hasn't released a video in over a year. More good news. And I haven't seen him on YouTube for years. Win! And Sleeping Warrior has very recently lost his channel. What an absolute shame that is, hey? You'll all be pleased to hear that his channel has finally been removed from YouTube. Another one in the YouTube graveyard, I'm afraid. His channel has now been completely removed. What a shame.
Ah, good times.
Taking pleasure from the demise of some channels is pretty low to say the least.
Not when those channels spread misinformation.
He seemed genuinely disappointed that some channels, like us, have changed their content temporarily to cover the pandemic. So like the thoughtful person that I am, this video is dedicated to Dan, so he doesn't feel forgotten.
Yay!
Today we're going to look at the most quoted proof of the globe Earth. Ships disappearing over the horizon.
I'm not sure that is the most quoted proof.
As in horizontal, meaning straight and level, Dan.
If you actually go out to a lake and there are boats on that lake, the farther away a boat is, the more the bottom of the boat will disappear and you'll basically just see the mast of the boat. And as a boat goes farther and farther away, the last thing you will see is the very top of the mast of that boat. And that's because the boat is actually going over the horizon that's curved. That's curved. That's curved. That's curved.
Many experiments have been undertaken proving that it's perspective that makes the ships disappear and not curvature.
Nice, using a football field that isn't completely flat. Seen that one before. What about the member of your own community that did use an entirely flat surface?
Let's show you what I caught from this side.
In this video, we'll be looking at this from a different angle or perspective, and by using a different mode of transport, the aeroplane. That's plane, Dan, meaning straight and level.
But in the context you're using it for, it's short for airplane, isn't it?
Imagine sitting on the seashore, looking out at the horizon and watching ships disappear over the non-existent curve. Then you look over your shoulder to see a plane coming from behind you, the long chemtrail stretching out behind it.
You mean contrail, of course.
That's chemtrail and not contrail, Dan.
Ah, he called it. It is a contrail though, and as I've stated before, the length of time that these contrails hang around for entirely depends on elevation and atmospheric conditions at the time.
Chemtrail, contrail, chemtrail, contrail, chemtrail.
Let's try that again. Contrail, 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 contrail. Better.
How can this be if the plane is flying over a globe? Surely it has to follow the shape of the Earth below it, does it not, Dan?
Yes, but the Earth isn't the size of a watermelon.
Simple answer, it's flying straight and level over a level surface. As the plane goes over your head and flies off into the distance, you can't help but notice that the chemtrail is straight from horizon to horizon.
Again, the Earth isn't the size of a watermelon.
If one can witness a ship disappearing over the horizon at about 2 or 3 miles away, then surely one could see the chemtrail of a plane curve at 8 inches per mile squared, the same as the supposed curvature of the Earth.
No, because we're looking at those two things differently, aren't we? The ship is on the surface with us. The airplane is above us.
Unfortunately for Dan, this is not what we see. The chemtrails are long, straight and level, just like the surface of the Earth.
Then surely with a telescope you should be able to see a plane for a much greater amount of time than we actually do.
Depending on the speed and distance from you, a plane can be visible for a good 5 minutes. At about 600 miles an hour, that plane would have travelled about 50 miles.
So the flat Earth is 50 miles wide. Got it.
That's more than 1,600 feet of curvature that should be visible by a curved chemtrail.
It doesn't work like that, and besides, it's not 8 inches per mile squared. That will give you a parabola.
If the curve of the Earth is apparent at just 2 or 3 miles away on the sea, then why is the same phenomena not visible at 50 miles in the sky?
Because the curve with ships is apparent because the ship is going over it. We don't see it from left to right like you are explaining with this contrail idea.
Is it refraction, Dan? That seems to be the stock answer for stuff that you can't explain.
No, it's not refraction. It's you misunderstanding how we see things.
When can you see the chemtrail curve, Dan? When it's perpendicular to you? When it's parallel to you? Why do we see this when we should be seeing this?
Because we shouldn't be seeing this, because the Earth is not the size of a watermelon. I am absolutely done with Space Busters here. They're really starting to wind me up. Our final fail comes from none other than Mr. Nathan Oakley himself. And I'm not exaggerating here. He has released possibly the most ridiculous video he's ever released. Let's just watch it through, shall we?
A bit of science for you. Calculate an absolute weight for us.
It is weight.
Absolutely.
Based on weight.
Yes, it's all weight. A bit of science.
So we're talking about weight, maths, but here comes the science part.
Because of the density.
Just to make life easier.
So you can understand then there's a certain amount of science involved. So the rule of thumb falls away. All about the weight of the pigment.
And that's how it's done. To add legitimacy to some alchemy, you claim your maths as science. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Put an extra 5 litres of colour in.
Right, well there we go. Another wonderful collection of fails from the Flat Earthers. Wonders never cease. Thank you very much for watching today. If you enjoyed it, then please do like the video and subscribe as well if the feeling takes you. Just enough time to once again thank Surfshark VPN for sponsoring today's video. Remember, click on the link in the description or go to surfshark.deal/SimonDan to get 83% off and 3 months extra free. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great weekend, and I'll see you all on Tuesday where we will be once again standing for truth. See you then.